All right, welcome to another DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Detzel, and today our special guest is Quin Jenson. Quin, how are you?
And I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, man. You and I have known each other in a way for a really long time. We've never met, but for a few years, you've been part of the DFW running group on Facebook. And
Yeah.
you're even a moderator or have been in the past and post different things on there. I think it was time for us to meet.
Yeah. It's been some time. I think like around 2019, 2020 is
Oh,
when I
even longer.
first learned about the group. That's when I learned about the group and then started posting in there. And then that's when I started connecting with other people like yourself and
Yeah,
everyone else in there.
I think it's pretty awesome. Tell us a little about you, like your running journey and how you got started and what you're doing now. I'm very curious.
Yeah. So back in 2015, I had came back from Kansas from school.
Yeah.
And I came back, I was working a warehouse job and I put on a bunch of weight and I was like, something got to change.
Yeah.
I just started around the neighborhood with a half a mile, walking and running. And I was like, you know what? I want to come back tomorrow and do it. So started doing that for a little bit, started running the whole half a mile and then worked my way up to a mile and eventually kept going. And then in 2019, the Christmas 2018 going into 2019, I had got a Austin half marathon entry from my girlfriend at that time. She bought me an entry to run the half. And I was like, oh, shoot, it got real. So it's got to actually start training now. So December 2018, I started really trying to figure out how to train. I didn't know what shoes to wear and clothes and nothing. I just did what I had. And then I think the half marathon was in February. And I ran the whole half marathon in a long sleeve hoodie, some sweatpants,
Yeah.
and
All
not,
these mistakes in the beginning.
yeah,
That's okay.
yeah, but it was fun. And ever since then, I just kept with it, just kept with it.
Did you lose the weight you wanted to lose or what happened with that? I
Yeah.
assume
So,
if you start running a lot.
yeah. So I started, so back in 2015, when I started moving up to, 5K and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the weight started to come off. So I lost maybe around 15, 20 pounds, but I was consistent and people that knew me, they was like, man, you really been doing this running thing. And they started just noticing the weight coming off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I started learning about the different groups, the running community. And so that's what really got me hooked. I started losing the weight, started feeling good, and I started getting around like-minded people. Of course, they was talking about Ks and 10Ks
Yeah.
and running sub, whatever. I'm like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah.
I'll just hit a run.
Yeah. You learn the lingo. And I think that's the beauty of being part of a community is just the lingo, hey, I got to wear these kind of shirts or socks or shoes or whatever. Like you just don't know anything until you start getting in. What group did you start running with, or do you still run with them, or?
So the first group was called Mondo Knowledge. It was a smaller group who kind of birthed into Run Div. Run DFW. It was ZFT.
Yeah, ZFT.
Yeah, Theo. He was with ZFT, and then he started the Run DFW. Or I'm sorry, Run It Up is what it's called. Run It Up.
Yeah, I know Running Up, or at least I've heard of them.
Yeah, Run It Up. So then, but that was the first group. It was Mondo Knowledge, and they were partnering with Theo and ZFT. And
okay, and so those two are still really Running Up and ZFT are really big running groups. So, are you still part of those, or?
Not so much. I've been doing my own thing. Injuries played a big part in that. Had 2 knee surgeries in the past 2 years on both knees. I just been doing what I can do.
What happened?
Playing sports, I had knee injuries, but I never got it taken care of properly. And then in 20...
So back up. What sports did you play for?
I played football all through high school. I ran track and I played a little bit of basketball, but mainly my main sport was football.
Okay. Did you play that in college or no?
I went to college to play, but ended up getting hurt then.
Got it.
So then I came back to Texas, and then that's when I got the warehouse job and put on a bunch of weight.
Got it. And then you joined some running groups, and then you lost some weight, but then now you've had a couple of knee surgeries. But let's back up a little bit. So I've seen you, and maybe it's not backing up, but I've seen you like unwrapping shoes and other kind of running type gear type stuff. Is that just for fun, or are you being sponsored, or what's going on there? Like, I've always been curious when I said, what's going on?
No, yeah, it's a little bit of both. So I was previously an ambassador for Brooks, but that contract has came to an end. And I do work with other brands, and it's more like a review. Like a shoe might come out in 2025, and they say, "Hey, we got these new products. Just wear it and tell us what you like and what changes to make and kind of
Okay.
stuff like that." And they also will send me to different races, run the races, and give a review on that while wearing shoes and the clothes and all that stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds fun. What do? They just ask you to be an ambassador, or you say, hey, do you apply for that kind of stuff? What's the
It's a little bit of both as well. As if you know
all depends.
someone, yeah,
Yeah.
like sometimes if you go see a local like Fleet Seed or like Luke's Locker, they have what's called Brooks have they're called I can't think of what the actual title is, but they have people reps that'll come and
Yeah,
bring like
they have
shoes out
shoe
there.
reps. Yeah.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
you can get close to one of them, they can get you in, and they different brands have different ambassador programs like
Yeah.
that. And then also some brands will just reach out to me in the Instagram DMs or email, say, "Hey, we like what you do with your content. Would you like to work together or partner?" However they want to do it.
You have a good following, right? Like of people anyways on Instagram. You
Yeah.
have almost like over 9,000 followers.
Yeah.
I think that's helpful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the following helps. And again, man, it's about the community, like who just like being a good
that's right.
person, a solid person. But you never know like who knows who. So I've gotten brand deals just by working with another person from a brand and say, "Hey, he's a good person, does
Yeah.
good work," and then just recommendations like that too.
It's all connecting to people. It's all about the community. I agree. It's really the important part. You had these two knee surgeries. Let's go back to that. And then
Mhm.
are you now getting back into running or what's the latest?
Yeah, backing up a little bit. So
Yeah.
2020, I ran Houston Marathon. No,
Yeah.
2021, I ran Houston Marathon. The whole marathon, like something is wrong. But I just kept going. I didn't want to stop. So I crossed the finish line, sat
It's like a
down,
normal runner.
in pain and everything.
Uh-huh.
I crossed the
There's nothing
finish
wrong
line.
here.
Yeah, nothing. Just don't even think about it. It's not there. But I finished and I sat down and I couldn't stand up. Like my
Mm.
legs wouldn't bend. I'm like, something is wrong. So kept running. I didn't go to the doctor, nothing like that.
Right. A
Um,
little rest might help.
yeah, I need to eat and relax.
Yeah.
So that June, I was playing basketball and
That's
and it was with a bunch of high school kids
basketball.
yeah, way younger than me.
Uh-huh.
But I kid you not, we checked the ball in. I caught it. I took one step and my knee just tore, like the whole meniscus tore. And that's when I knew I was getting old. Sure.
Just
It's just one step. Yeah, man, that was my first knee surgery. And then fast forward to this past September was my knee surgery on my left knee. So the first one was my right.
that was because of a basketball thing. Obviously, it was hurting before, but you really messed it up. Basketball, same problem with the other knee? Or?
The left knee, so you know how you baby one side or
Uh-huh.
favor one side. Around the same time, like June, July, I was out on an easy run and a guy was coming down the sidewalk. So I stepped off the sidewalk to let him, to pass him. And when I stepped off the sidewalk to the grass, I guess I landed. I was like, that didn't feel too good. But I just kept going. And then I got home and I couldn't walk up the steps. Like it was uncomfortable. And then my mom and my girlfriend now was like, "You need to go get it looked at." And then that's when I found out I tore the left knee. It was just like, man, I was just getting back to it.
Where are you out now? I like
Now
on your knee. Is it healed, both of them, or?
I'm probably like 70, 80%.
Okay.
I'm able to run 3 to 4 miles comfortably before anything uncomfortableness. I don't even know if that's what comfortableness. Before I'm
Good enough.
uncomfortable. But yeah, man, I'm getting back to it. We just came from Virginia about 2 weeks ago. Me and my lady, we did the marathon up there.
Oh, you did. If you're 70 or 80%, man, maybe you should think, hopefully you went a little slower than usual,
Oh
or,
yeah, a lot of walk,
okay.
a lot of
Okay. Good.
walk.
I feel like there's a pattern here, Quinn.
Yeah. And now
So,
that I'm saying it, yeah,
I mean, I'm going to go do a marathon. My knees hurt or
yeah,
not, I'm a little injured, but let's get 70% better, 80 maybe,
yeah.
when you're able to run again. Do you think you'll get to the fitness that you were? Is that kind of the goal or?
Yeah. So actually, my girlfriend is working on doing. I believe it's called a Hyra. I never know how to say it. It's a
High
CrossFit
rocks?
competition. Yeah, it's a CrossFit competition in March.
Awesome.
And
Cool.
so she's really been diving deep into that. So that's really helping her train and learning about it has really helped me get back going on the strength side, like trying to get in the weight room and stuff like that, build up my leg and stuff.
Definitely, dude. I think that my my wife is a big time runner, probably more so than I am. I love to run and stuff, but she's done Boston Marathon 11 times. She's going back for 12. She's going to be
Wow.
doing London finally. And then, anyways, the point is, it helps to have somebody that driven to help drive you. And I think it's not a relationship podcast, but I do think that it pushes me a little bit to just be better. I can't stop exercising, and it's inspiring to watch your significant other accomplish a lot of things, but it also helps me to want to do better as well. It sounds like it's doing some of that for you as well, so that's good.
Yeah, for sure.
So, any kind of, as you think of the next 5, 6, 7 months, year, are you thinking getting back into running the marathon or anything like that, or is it just, hey, I just want to get in shape and
Yeah, right now it's really just getting back in shape. I
yeah,
am looking at Houston 2025 with next month pretty much, but not nothing serious. Probably just do the half, walk a lot of it, and just have fun. But that's really where I'm at in the running journey right now, just having fun, getting back into running. Because if you went through a serious injury where you can't do the thing that you want to do, you realize you take a lot of stuff for granted. Just getting up and walking from the bed to the bathroom is just, man, or just trying to put on your shoe. It's just, especially with knee injuries and stuff,
yeah.
I'm appreciating just doing the little things, right? So that's where I'm at right now.
Didn't you run a 50K once to Blaze
Yeah,
Trails?
I did. I ran a 50K. I believe that
Was
was
that your
like,
first?
it was my first one.
Tell me
Yeah.
about that. What was that like?
I did not train for it correctly.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to train. That was my first trail race. I had never ran on a trail that I can think of prior to that. But it was fun, man. I know in the running space, you got your two different like big categories. You got your trail runners and then you got your road
Road.
runners.
Yeah.
So the community is a little bit different. It's a little bit, to me, trail runners are a little bit more friendlier. They talk, it's a lot of, especially like a longer race, it's a lot of walking and talking and snacks and getting to know people. Yeah, it was fun. The whole experience was fun. The distance wasn't so much because, like I said, I didn't train for it, but I approached it like I would approach a marathon. So the first like 20-ish miles, I was trying to run at a good pace,
Yeah.
not knowing that I should have paced myself out with all the elevation and all that stuff.
That particular trail, it was the North Shore. I forget exactly what it's called, but it was out at North Shore. Blaze Trails does it in November.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great, I usually do the 10K. I've done I think it's 20K or whatever, 30K once.
Yeah.
But that particular, anytime you go into trail running, and especially if you've never done it and you just sign up for a 50K, and it's your first trail, you're in for a nice surprise. And I think that the difference obviously is elevation, and you got to think about like there's little rocks and things and curves. It's not the same. So if you run, let's say in general, a 9 or 10 minute mile on the road, you could probably think about 14 or 15 minutes on the trail or longer, because it all depends on the trail. It's a runnable trail, but it's still 50K. And people just don't know. They think they should go really fast or as fast as and that's probably what you did. I'm sure is you started out the first several miles going as fast and you're like, oh my God, like this is ridiculous. So.
No, it's definitely fun. I definitely want to do more trail running because, like I said, it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Besides getting lost, I got lost by myself. The one thing I was going into it thinking is like, I just want to stay with a pack of people because I don't want to be out here by myself. And I got lost. But
that's normal
eventually,
too. That's another thing about trails.
Yeah.
That's great. Have you done trails since, or was that just, you're like, okay, for now I'm done?
Haven't done it, but I'm not opposed to it. I haven't had the opportunity to do another one. Actually, I was going to do the Lake Murray in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Blaze Trails again.
I was going to do that one in October, but I have surgery in September, so that was out. But I was going to do the 100. It's like, why not?
Yeah. You might, look, you might think of, okay, they have a 30K. Why not just do a little bit of that and then get yourself up to the 100 miles? 100 miles is no joke, man.
Yeah. My thing is like, when I was going to do it, it was just, why not do it? If I don't finish, I don't finish. Just have fun. Of course, you want to push yourself and see how far you can go, but I'm not trying to go out here and beat a certain time or whatever. I just want to have fun and experience the whole.
I think that philosophy is obviously the right philosophy because getting go to 100 miles is a lot.
Yeah.
And most people don't. It's hard to race that. I'm not
Hmm.
saying there are people that race it, but that's the goal, I think, for most people is, can I get that amount of
Yeah.
distance done? Doesn't matter the time, before the cutoff, whatever
Right.
that cutoff
Exactly.
is.
Mhm.
30 hours. Can you imagine being out for 30 hours? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
In the dark too, in the woods.
Oh, you're going to go through a dark, you're going to go through day, then night, and then day again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to go through all, and you're right. If you've never run in the woods at night, it is way different. So
Sure.
you start, all right, here's one instance, like you'll start tearing up a little bit, you get slightly dehydrated, then maybe you get to stop and go to the bathroom or something in the woods, and then now you're like, oh my God, where am I? You're like, do I go
Right.
left or right? You have a light, but you don't know. You get disoriented a lot
Yeah.
easier. And it's fun, but I've never done 100 miles. I've done several 50Ks, but I'm not really interested. I'm not really interested in running marathons either anymore. Like
Yeah.
half marathons is my thing,
Okay.
you know.
Is that like what made you come to that decision?
I just don't like to train that much. Like I ran a 128 half marathon last year, right? And
Okay.
you train pretty hard for that. But if you want to run a marathon, like for me, the last marathon was 8 years ago for me. Like
Mm.
racing, trying to race a marathon. There's so many things that like, because I'm very type A, and so I just want to go jog it and see if I can finish. I don't really want to run a marathon and just jog it and finish in 5 hours. I just don't. Like I want to finish it in 3:20 or 3:10, or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when I go for that, what I realized was, one, the training at that time was too much. It just, I have kids and everything else. I've got a 14-year-old now and like a 24-year-old, so they're a lot older now.
Mm.
So now I can do more of that if I want, but the training was just brutal. 60 miles a week plus. And I'm like, all right, I just talked to these guys the other day, and they're elite like guys, and they're running 100 to 110 miles a week. And I'm like, geez, man, these guys are really
Yeah.
dedicated to that craft, and they know they only have a certain amount. Once start hitting older, you get a little bit older, 40 plus, your body starts to change. So you break down, you get older. It's just part of life, just the way it is. But for me, it was that. Plus, I just never feeling good after 20 miler. Just a one day, like on Saturday, I have to go run a 20 milers because I'm prepping. And I'm like, man, this sucks. And so for me to really enjoy running, I love to race and I love to try to get PRs. I will run half marathons. I'll even run 30Ks or 20Ks on half marathon, etc. It's not that I won't run marathon like stuff. Like I'll
Mhm.
go do. My wife and I will do like these 4 or 5 day trips that are all about running in the mountains and everything else. And
Mhm.
one day could be 25 miles and things like that. But you're not running, but
Right. Right.
you are some. But when you're going up, I'll do long stuff, but I won't. This training for a marathon for me is just really time consuming. I don't want to spend the time doing it. It's hard. Anyways,
Yeah. No.
back
Yeah.
to you.
No, that's good stuff.
Nothing big planned. Obviously, you're gonna do Houston. I'm doing the Austin half, so it's like right in the same time
That's
frame.
February, right? Or
I think it's
March.
the same. No, this one. There's a couple of them. This is the one that used to be 3M. I forget what
Oh
it's called
yeah.
now,
Yeah.
but it's the same time as Houston.
Okay.
And I love Houston. I always do the half. We do it every other year now. But the Austin one's a nice little downhill as well. And so it's just this one's all like 90% of it downhill, which is pretty awesome. So
Okay.
we'll do that coming up. So we're pretty excited.
Yeah, we just did. Me and my lady did. As you can tell now, me and my lady now, she comes with me and runs. We did Austin 10K. I want to say in August. Yeah, we did the 10K
Yeah.
in Austin. Yeah.
Now you're in Dallas, right?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas.
Okay, yeah. Thought so. So you've got the Houston and then anything else you're thinking about coming up?
Not right now. All the races that I'm doing now, like Austin and all the ones that I have done was already planned.
Yep.
So I don't have anything like new on the schedule.
Got it. I think that when you think about training for this, you're doing the half, right? In Houston, is that what you said?
Oh yeah, the Houston half. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your training like from now till then?
This might be the bad advice if anybody's trying to get into running. But
Uh,
me, man, I'm just, like I say, I'm just about having fun. Really,
yeah.
Houston is a Brooks race. So with me
Hmm.
being a Brooks ambassador, they do a big party and stuff. So that's the main reason I'm going to party and have fun and just finish. So
Yeah.
for its training structure wise, at maybe 25 miles a
Okay.
week, 30 miles a week, somewhere around there. But again, it's slow miles, a lot of walking and
Yeah.
just having fun, man. Just doing
I
it.
love that. Really, you just run for fun. That's really what it sounds like
Yeah.
for now, anyways.
Yeah. I never was my whole running journey. I never was one to just, I got to beat this time and that time.
How about you
It's,
think being a football player, man? You're pretty competitive, no?
yeah. But see, I think my competitive is a little bit different. Competing with myself is if I ran 6 miles today, can I get 6 1/4, 6 1/2? And
Mm-hmm.
it's okay, I did that. Okay, how far can I go? That's how I compete. Not really with time. In that time, in that 6 miles, if I walked, if I ran,
Doesn't
however I
matter.
got to that, I did it. So it's just, that's how I compete.
I think a lot of
Mm,
people do that, right? I think it's important to, especially running. For me, it's competitive, but also it's all something that keeps a mind focused, but it also keeps me
mhm.
skinnier. At the end of the day, the reason I started running was because I was 25 pounds overweight. This was
Mhm.
11 or 12 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't like, and I was like that for about 7 or 8 years. It just felt, I didn't exercise at all, nothing from basically 22 on to like in my late 30s. I didn't do
Yeah.
anything. And you're going to gain weight.
Right.
I didn't
Yeah.
eat well. The one thing that running does, or the many things that running does for me is one is it keeps me focused. Two, it keeps me skinny.
Yeah.
And three, because of all of that, I eat better, I eat healthier,
Yeah.
and I like the competition.
Yeah.
And that, I think something that, and I like what you said is that, hey, I'm not going out there to compete per se, right? It's just more of having fun, but it keeps you fit. It
Yeah.
keeps your mind focused and it gives you something to do that's active.
It's
I mean,
really,
I think that's what you're saying.
yeah, no, what I'm saying. It's really just when it comes to competing, it's you versus you. But I think the
Yeah.
big scope of it for me is the community and the love that you get. Because say you meet somebody in the DFW running group, you've been talking, you've been friends, and then both of y'all run BMW this month. Now y'all get to meet in person and actually run. I think for me, running is about the community and just having fun and getting fit together and doing all that. And then you get to go out to a breakfast brunch place afterwards with your medal and stuff like that. Like it's just about the fun part of it. Not really the competing besides competing with yourself, but I'm not competing with the next person or trying to all that
Yeah.
the other stuff.
I love that. It is. I think if I look at my running journey over the last 10, 12, whatever years, it really is about the community. I think that I've built a lot of really good relationships with different people over the years, and some people become good friends. You go to dinners, you have a crowd of people. We have this thing, and I say this on almost every podcast, it seems, but we have this thing on Thursday night that we meet, and it's a running group. It's called Dallas Dirt Runners,
Mm-hmm.
and we meet it over at Norbuck Park every Thursday night at 6, 5:30, 6, whatever. And we don't even run usually. Some people do, but we just hang out, drink a couple of beers, or just shoot the shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, just it becomes fun. And then when it becomes like it gets later or it gets dark at 5 now, so now we just go to the local bar,
Mhm.
eat a little bit, and hang out. And I
Yeah.
mean, we run, but not necessarily together. But that's what the running community has brought. These people are running marathons. They're not, most of them aren't that serious. As in, when I say they're serious about running, they're
Mhm.
not necessarily serious about trying to win anything. And that's what it's about. It's just those over the years I've had a lot of fun friends that I've met. And like this podcast, it gets me to branch out and meet people like yourself, right? You and I never run together. I don't even know where you live. But we met on the DFW running community.
Mhm.
And now here we are talking for the first time. So
Yeah.
that's running bringing us together.
Yeah. And I think, like you're saying, the friendships, and I think, what was it, 2022, whenever we had that ice storm,
Yeah.
and it was like, man, I think because everybody, like that group brought all the runners together, but the runners are actual people that have lives outside of
Yeah.
running. It was so cool to me to see. I was able to create what you call it, a thread or a post or something, just to
Yeah.
check on people. Hey, everybody good? Or what's going on? Anybody need help? And having people in the comments just saying, we got extra this, or can we help with that? It's just, I like that part of it. That's the fun for me. And then when the brand send me stuff, they send stuff that don't fit, I might not like or whatever. Like I got some Beats headphones right here that I'm going to give away to somebody. And it's just, I like to do that, give back and just have fun and love on people.
That's awesome, man. And I think that's what it's about is those Beats headphones. Somebody's going to love it.
Yeah.
So as you look at the future of running or whatever, what do you kind of see it evolving into? Does it help you? Like, whenever you think about like, all right, I'm doing a lot of running. You just mentioned you're lifting weights now. You're doing that kind of stuff. Are you seeing yourself more engaged in that, or is it more of, hey, I got to strengthen my knees. I got to do weights.
It's a little bit of both. It's
Yeah.
a love and hate because my lady, she gets on me. She says, what leg exercise did you do?
Yep.
Did you get on the bike? Did you do the bands? Did you do something with the legs?
That's what
So
the
it's
ladies
like,
are good. My wife does the same. It's like,
yeah,
why don't you sit here and do some leg swings? I'll do what I want.
yeah, exactly.
But she's right though.
Yeah, yeah,
Hopefully she doesn't listen to this.
yeah, mine
Uh,
too. It's a little bit of both, man. Just trying to get the legs back stronger, but also upping the mileage slowly. Like I
yeah.
said, I'm around 5K right now, comfortable. So just trying
Good.
to add on to that,
That's awesome.
and
Is there
also being a
anything that,
dad.
yeah, how old are your kids?
So I have one daughter. She'll be 7 on the 23rd of this month,
Okay.
and
All right.
my lady has a daughter as well. So we got 2 girls, and
Yeah.
so just trying to find time with being a parent, working, and
Mhm.
all that stuff to get some kind of movement.
Welcome into adulthood. But that's one. Two
Yeah,
is it is difficult. You've got to share the load. And I think with the parent, you always see, I remember in a lot of my running groups. So for years and years, I ran in the Dallas running group. I'm going to do it again this next year. And you'll see people come and go. And a lot of times those people, they just get married or they've been married but don't have a family. But then when they start having families, you start seeing less of them
yeah,
because you can't run as much as you used to and do as much as you used to. You still try to do some of it. And I think that's the important part. Life changes and kids
right.
change everything. It's good. It's just a matter of your priorities now are kids, trying to help out,
Yeah,
making sure you both, as parents, you can get
me
those
too.
workouts in. Although important, kids are more important.
Yeah, I think that's the part. I think that is another reason why I like running or love running is it's like an escape for a couple minutes, especially if you go without headphones. You just zone out and just go get a couple miles and come back, and then you can get back into daddy mode or being a spouse or whatever you need to do. You can just escape for a second.
1000%, man. I mean, running does wonders. If you can't do the 10 miles that you used to do, 3 miles, do
Yeah,
four,
what you can do.
consistently stay consistent no matter
Yeah.
what the miles are, right? Kind of my thought about it. Quinn, did I miss anything? Is there something that you wish I would have asked and that I didn't ask?
No. Oh,
Something,
you were asking
yeah.
about where I see the running groups going. I like to see that more people are coming to the sport, but I just would like to see the people come for the right reason.
No, I can't hear it, but
No,
I'm
can you
sure it
hear
bothers
me?
you.
Still talking?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Like a lot of people coming to the sport of running. I just want them to come for the right reason, like not just to come to talk, but like actually run too, because sometimes I feel like people will come just to meet people and then it could how you say it, distract.
Discourage others.
Yeah, the other like runners who've been coming to a group for a long time. So it's
Yeah.
like now we got all these influencers or these younger people coming, and which is good for the group, but it's like now you're pushing away all the other runners, the faithful runners who've been coming and stuff.
Yeah, Quinn, it's a good point. I think that one is sometimes who those serious runners are in general, right? Because they're regimented. And then there's runners that come in, and you're starting to see this more and more is to the groups because they're wanting to date and things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And find people that are active and doing things. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but I do find that if that's your only goal is to find a date,
yeah,
or whatever, that's probably not the best. But we can't control it.
right.
You just what I always say is that I met my wife through running, which in the running group, but I wasn't looking for her. I was actually looking just to run and get faster. And a year later, we start dating. And it is a good place to find people that are active and interested in some of the same things because, like for me and my wife, running and being active is an extremely important piece of our life. And so I think that finding people that way rather than looking online and stuff, probably at least it's face to face and it's active and doing some things. So I think that's positive. But I understand what you're saying is you just want people to come in and get in shape and stay healthy and things like that. And there is a community aspect. There's also the dating aspect, I think.
Yeah,
I've seen it a lot, but
yeah. And don't get me wrong, I do like it because it's a good place to meet, especially if, let's just say, you do meet somebody in the DFW running group or ZFT
Yeah.
or whatever, and you like, okay, let's meet here. This is a safe space. We can meet, work out a little bit, maybe get something to eat after. And it's not that where you trying to figure out where to date somebody or go on a date and you by yourself. It breaks the ice a little bit. I do the aspect of the dating, all that stuff. And the influencers is putting light on smaller running groups. So I'm with it. But it's got to be
It's got to be a balance. I mean, I always see it as I can control what I can control, and we could talk about it and just say, look, things that running do for me is one, it helps me with weight. Two, it keeps me active. Three, it keeps me sharp. It does a lot of things.
Yeah.
It helps me to compete. When I think those things are important, and that's what running does for me. Yes, I met my spouse that way. We've been together 11, 10 years and married 6 or 7 years, but it's not really why I did it. But still,
Yeah.
there's a lot of reasons you could do it. And I'm with you. Consistency is key to be active, especially as you get older, man.
Mhm.
It's just doesn't have to be running, but it could be cycling. It could be a bunch of other activities that keeps you in shape and focused and healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So, Quentin, this is good, man. It was good to meet you.
Likewise.
It's great to hear your
Likewise.
story as well. All
Sure.
those influencer things that you're doing. I was curious. That's why I had to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always
Um,
trying to give something away or figure out some kind of way to give back to the community.
Good. Keep it up, man. And thanks everyone for tuning in to another DFW Running Talk. I'm Chris Detzel, and Quinn, thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for having me.
And please rate and review us. Don't forget to do that. It always helps us to get more listeners. So thanks, everyone.